welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie. We are back outside because it is spring and it's actually 80 degrees, and I'm sorry I have my sunglasses on, but it's blinding. I can't see the cards or anything, so I know it's a little, shady, but I need to be able to see to read. Anyway, we're at a cool spot. This is Reese's Field, like Reese Witherspoon, like Reese's. This is where I learned to play soccer. This is the Pee Wee field where you can start at 3 now, like 3 to, I want to say 12-year-olds play. So it's not the good game season net because the season's over for the summer. It's just like summer camp stuff, so the crappy net is out right now. But anyone can come out at any time and play. I don't know if you can see the neighborhood, but there's houses that line all the way across. This is literally right in the neighborhood. It's so pretty when the trees have their leaves on it. But over here is the baseball field with the little t-ball team, and behind me was my old teen center. When I was a teenager, there was a building in there with like a pool table and like video games, and we could all hang out, but they had to bulldoze it down because it got flooded out. So now it's a concession stand for the little kids. And so this was the beginning of my soccer career. I went all the way through high school. I won 3 state championships with my team, and it was awesome. And this is where it all began. My first goal ever in a game, pretty much, was here at Reese's Field. So I literally I can see my house from here. Can you see it? There's a yellow house. Can you see the yellow house? It's the white one next to it, with kind of triangle roof. I don't know if you can see it, but that's where I grew up. So it's you were literally in my hometown with me today. We were just visiting everybody I know in the cemetery. The cemetery is right down the hill. Come up the hill, it's Reese's Field. We're a very close, tight-knit. Everything's kind of packed in. You can walk to everything in this town. Now we have a bus route so you can get to other places, but when coming up, there was no way to get anywhere because we were so far in the sticks. So all of us kids, were forced to play together. Anyway, let's get into your reading. I'm not sure what this is yet. Let's find out. What do we need to talk about, Spirit? Back to the beginnings. I don't know why I heard that. Back to the beginning. Cancel culture. Word vomit. Oof. Oh dear. Let me get some more. Let me clarify. Getting a couple for this cancel culture. Group chat. We need to stop thinking as a collective group and go back to thinking individually. We get so caught up in fads, trends, popular beliefs. That's why cancel culture caught on, because it was like a mass concept. One person said, I think this is wrong because, and then it spread like wildfire. But when you asked why people were taking things down, because it's racist. Well, why is it racist? Well, they said it was racist. Well, why did they? Nobody knows. It's just regurgitated. We're thinking on a one brain mass plan, and Spirit doesn't like it. It causes us to do and say things we don't mean. It causes our brains to get tied and twisted, and we forget who we are and what we're about, and fake news can slip in there, and everybody starts chanting fake news. It causes people to draw apart, no contact in a long time. But I feel like good things are coming. So I feel like that was just a side note to the world, but for you collectively, this message is about not allowing public opinions or the people in your life to dictate to you what you think you should do. Good things are coming. I feel like you've been struggling with something here. Let me get some of these. What have we been struggling with? Love. Okay. So, maybe you're single. Maybe you're just sick of being single. Or you just had really shitty situations. This could be loving yourself. Let's get some more clarity. I think you want to know who your person is. This third eye, you're getting signs, synchronicities. Maybe you feel like love's coming in. Maybe you feel like somebody put a love spell on you. This love potion. What would you like clarity on, Collective? Let me see if I can help you. Strength. How do I love myself? How do I become spiritually strong? How do I put my sword down? How do I end this? There's a lot of how do I's going on collectively. Alright. Tell me more about the strength. Divination. This is about strength, spiritual strength. How do I connect to my guides? Well, I was asked this a lot when I was first learning to become spiritual, and I feel like this is a natural question for everyone to have, and nobody really knows how to answer it. I still really don't know how to answer it because no matter what anyone said to me, it ended up being my own thing. I guess my advice to you is to go buy a $1.25 pack of index cards and write what you feel like writing on the cards. Like, the situation will get better. Yes, no, whatever you want to write on it. And just play with that. And start mentally, when you lay the cards down, what message do you feel comes from those cards? That's communicating to spirit. You might not hear or see anything. You might just let the cards fall and see what you see and say what you say. That might be your gift. If you're trying to be a tarot reader, or even if you're not trying to be a tarot reader, that's how I learned to channel. That's why I got into tarot. I was like, wow, this taught me how to channel, so I might as well, see what this is about. I feel like you're spiritually pulled to whatever your thing is naturally. Allow it to come to you. Don't force it. Don't struggle with it. I have been doing tarot for, I don't know how long I've been on YouTube. I should pay attention, but I think it's a year. But then I did a year on Facebook, just putting up, because I was too scared to come on YouTube. I didn't feel confident in my dream of becoming a YouTuber. And, now I'm going through the same thing with TikTok. Like, still fighting. Like, I'm not ready for TikTok. Like, you're ready when you're ready. You're not when you're not. It's a part of your process. It's a part of your evolution. And nobody can tell you or dictate how it's going to go. It's 100% individual path, individual journey, individual skills, individual languages with your guides. I mean, I can give you a little bit of advice, like with my card thing. I also, would listen to music, and I would be driving, and I'd be like, all right, Spirit, I just pick a random station, play a song for me. And I let a song go by. Like, the next song that plays, I'm going to listen to this and try to collect some messages from you. And I learned how to channel with my guides through music as well. You can use anything. You just have to sit with yourself. You don't have to say it out loud. Most of my channeling is all mental. Although I do talk to myself, I don't care. Sometimes I need expert advice. Just kidding. I saw that on a t-shirt and I want to buy that t-shirt so bad. It said, of course I talk to myself. Sometimes I need expert advice. I'm like, that is so me. Not because I'm an expert, but because I literally talk to myself. I'm like, where did I put my keys? What was I just doing? That makes no fucking sense. What? This is stupid. I just say shit like that all day. Like, nobody's listening. But I say it, I don't care. Grounding. How do you protect yourself? This This is turning into a how-to. I don't mind it. Spirit is leading me. When I'm outside, I am like I'm an earth sign. So, and I'm also a fire sign. And the sun is just pouring on me. So I'm like super, my hair's crazy because I drove with the top down. I have top down hair. Do you know how exciting that is for us Central New Yorkers? This is a long winter. How do I focus? Well, you're asking the wrong ADHD person. I'm just kidding. Let's talk about how do you ground. Like, I feel like this is more how do you prepare, how to protect yourself. I use crystals. You can research what kind of crystals work for you, but I always put peridot with me because that's my birthstone. I feel like my birthstone just heightens my vibes. Sorry, I saw a blue cricket. I don't know where they came from. They're probably not blue, but when they fly, they look blue. Oh, and we have a vulture hovering. People think vultures are nasty things, but I like them. They're survivors, and they like dance in the sky so beautifully. They're the only bird that can like hover. They're like the ballerinas of birds. Vultures have a bad rap. I love them. They have iron stomachs. Alright, so grounding, I feel like that's why Spirit distracts me. What's your element? Perfect. Thank you, Spirit. This is how I ground. I sit in nature. I am literally sitting in the grass. I have my shoes off. I am basking in the sun. My vibes are like, I am in my element. I am going to take you to a place around water soon. I do have a little bit of water in my chart. Everybody has everything in their chart, but water is very calming, very purifying. Spiritual baths, if you're feeling very vulnerable, not just in like spiritual attacks, just emotionally vulnerable, unsteady in any way, spiritual baths are great. Anything with like Himalayan salt, regular sea salt. I make sea salt baths, like straight up rock salt, sea salt, whatever you need to use. That is like the purest way to, like, no evil can touch sea salt. Like seawater, yes, there's a lot of evil in seawater, but it's like if you make it in your bath, that's like pure, you know what I mean? Not sea salt is purifying, like the seawater is purifying, but think about all of the horrific shit that went down in the ocean, and it's imprinted on whatever it touches. Bodies, doesn't matter. Like, there's a lot of bad shit. Like, people find the ocean very, very healing, and I do too. Like, sitting on the sea, watching it, I think that's very healing. Basking in it is fine, surfing in it, but I don't feel like you should count that as a spiritual cleanse if you really want that effect. Like, yes, it's calming. Like, laying in the sea is like, you know, it's peaceful, but it's not going to get the juju off you, is what I'm saying. If you want to get the juju off you, you have to make it in its thickest, most condensed, untouched, unimprintable form. So you take your bathtub and you put as much salt in there as you can stand, and you stay in there as long as you can. You put flowers, I drop crystals in the water. It depends on what I feel I'm up against. I put crosses in the water. What your gifts, I do what my instincts tell me to do. I light candles, like white spiritual candles. I'll put herbs in my candles. I'll put herbs in my tub. I'll put flowers in my tub. I'm very connected to flowers. I'm an earth sign. I love flowers. Not like buy me, like I want to grow them outside everywhere. Like when I have a house, my whole yard is just gonna be flowers everywhere. Everywhere. Don't step on my flowers. Wow, where are we gonna walk then? I don't know, it's not my fucking problem. No, I'm just kidding. I'll just designate like a certain corner of my yard like my dad does. I get it from my dad. Every year my dad, like this time, he's probably out there today tilling his freaking garden. He has apple trees, he has peach trees, pear trees, cherry trees. Like my dad, it's Mr. Green Thumb, and my mom too. And I can't keep nothing alive, and I'm an earth sign and I'm a goddess. But I can keep it alive outside, but I can't keep it alive in my house. That's why I need a greenhouse. Problem solved. Put the garden inside. Alright. I feel like I'm bumping my gums just because this is how you gotta play in your elements. Like, I know it's fucking weird, but like walking in the sand, sticking my feet in dirt, putting my feet in water, like having a spiritual foot bath and nothing else is calming to me. Just walking and feeling the breeze on my face. Watching the birds, looking at trees, all of this centers me. This, whatever your element is, if you're air, like a dog, drive down the street and stick your head out the window, because I feel like it feels good on your face. Stick your arm out the window, like you're in your element, or just being outside and air. You need fresh air to breathe. And if you're a fire sign, tacky as it is, have a fucking bonfire and stare at it at night. Just staring into the bonfire will calm you. I don't care, that seems nutty, but you are a fire sign. Do it, and then tell me I'm wrong. Just sitting in your chair with your favorite beverage, just staring at the flames. Are you calm? Yes, you are. Unless you have, don't make it a stressful situation. Don't have little kids running around the fire, so you're it's got to be a peaceful setting. But if you're a water sign, sit by a river, a lake, ponder, write in your notebook. You're going to be pulled and calmed and sent. I like rivers. The sound of rivers alone, especially fast rivers, like whitewater rivers. It's deafening loud, but I kind of like to just sit there and be swallowed by it. It's so peaceful. Find that. That's how you ground. That's how you become more spiritual. The more I connect with this planet, the more I feel alive. And that's true for any spiritual person. And when you're going through a lot of change and hardships in your life, that's the best thing to do. Take a walk. Get out in the fresh air. Take a nap and take a suntan at the same time. On your day off, just lay in your backyard, set your timer so you know when to flip over, and take a little snooze. Read a book. That's so calming. It's free. It's easy. How do you call in abundance? Manifesting is one of the biggest questions I get in the spiritual world. And, this is what I always ask you. Why are you manifesting something? Are you doing it because you just want to be rich? Do you just want to be famous? Do you just want to have a husband? Do you just want to have a wife? Do you just want to have clout? Do you just want people to envy you? Because all those things are bad reasons to manifest. And if you have bad reasons to manifest, it's probably not going to be granted. And if it is granted, it's not going to be what you were expecting. So, my advice to you is make sure you're coming from a light place when you're trying to manifest. If you're trying to manifest a specific person, say, God, if this person is for my highest good, if this person will love me truest, please pull them to me. You're not forcing the universe, you're not forcing someone else's life, because you said, if this person, so you're not casting anything negative. You got to come from a good place. You got to be careful on how you word it, and you have to believe 100% of what you're manifesting. You cannot have any doubt. You have to already consider it done, in the bag, check cashed. No matter how long it takes, no matter how long you have to go on believing that way, you have to maintain that for that manifestation to come true. And that's all you have to do. Anyone can manifest. It's 100% belief, 100% effort as far as energy, saying it into existence. I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to win the lottery to change my life and my family's life. I'm going to win the lottery so I can go back to school. I'm going to win the lottery so I can save animals. Whatever it is, like, have the intention behind it and keep saying it and believe that winning the lottery is possible for you. You know what I mean? But, focus. How do you focus when you, like, this happens to me a lot. It just happens to me, but that's not the focus I'm talking about. When I'm doing, like, evil, devil energy, exactly. When I'm doing investigations, they trip you up. Like, how do you focus? How do you know, what's good? How do you not get played by the dark? So, a lot of ways evil trips me up is with animals and with children, women. Like, I'm a sexual assault victim, so, if any of the dark entities were to know that, they would do like a woman screaming or make me feel like I'm being hunted, stalked, trying to freak me out in that way. They play on your weaknesses. So number one, know your weaknesses and know that they, yes, will 100% always hit those buttons. If your weakness is a hurt animal, if your weakness is a baby, if your weakness is somebody in trouble, it's like a bear trap in the middle of the woods. Their whole point is to bait you in. So they're going to play to your strengths and they're going to play to your weaknesses. If you feel confident, they're going to want you to feel unconfident or not confident. Whatever, you get my drift. They're going to do everything to knock you off your high horse, because the more you're on your high horse, the more powerful you are and the more you can check them. So always know that when you're dealing with dark, usually the first thing they attack is your high vibrations. They like you depressed. They like you sleep deprived. They like you fighting and bickering with each other, so caught up in your own shit that you're not focused on this energy vampire that's sucking off of you. They also build up momentum. Your batteries will drain. People's angers will get more intensified. This is a signal that they are amping up. God will show you signs when evil is present. Like if somebody is under demonic oppression, if somebody like me were to come into the house and we were investigating, the first hour or two of that investigation, that person might be normal like they are with everybody else. And then my angel is clearly going to, over time, start affecting this devil energy. And there's going to be a twitch. There's going to be a mad reaction. Especially, it's usually when I start working. Because as much as I don't always know where the evil is or where to attack, like, I'm getting dizzy just telling you this. Like, the darker realm doesn't want this information out, but I work in the light and you will not stop this message. But this is another way you center when you feel under attack. Just, no matter what's going in, breathe in until you can't breathe in anymore and just let it out. And do that until your body becomes light. Don't fuck everything that's going on. Just focus on your breathing. And that's when I say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No attack shall pass. God is my shield. God is my staff. I walk in sure and confident steps in the light. Whatever moves I make, the angels make with me. You slowly build that confidence back up. I don't care if you're in the middle of an investigation. Go outside. Take a minute. Regain your strength. Don't say a word. Show nothing until you are outside. No fear. If you do show fear, it's fine, because when you come back inside, you're going to be a boss. The more juicy, evil ones you deal with, you're going listen, I'm a boss, okay? I come from lifetime after lifetime of fighting these things, and I still need to check myself and go outside. I'm human, okay? I'm still a part of the earthly realm. I have limitations, and you need to respect them. You need to know your limits and know what you are capable of handling and what you are not capable of handling. There are still times where I walk into an investigation and say, I'm sorry. I'm not spiritually ready for this battle, and I don't feel like I will do you any good. You know, you have to be honest. You have to be willing to say that, because anything you do out of weakness can only amp that thing up for the next person that's going to have to come in. So the way to stay focused and read evil is to sit back. Do not react, and wait. Watch. Listen. Feel. What do you smell? What does the room feel like? What's going on with the electronics? Look at facial expressions. Look at how people talk to each other. Look at their routine. Dark things love to fuck up routine, but they also like to make you cling to it. But it has to be their routine. So it would be a quirky thing. Like a lot of the demonic people, there was one guy who was an accountant. He was very particular. He had OCD. His house was always clean, always meticulous. Got possessed. That was the exact opposite. But it didn't just start like that. It started with him like stacking up newspapers against the wall. Like starting to become a hoarder. Because it was still OCD, so it was like messy but in order. Like this demon thing was attacking it and using its weakness. That's a strange thing. That shouldn't be. If somebody has OCD and their house was clean, they shouldn't be a hoarder all of a sudden. And it's like they become possessive about the things that the dark make them do. Like sleeping a lot, eating a lot, smoking a lot, pacing a lot, chanting a lot, blasting dark, angry music, you know, just sitting there staring off evil glares, just sitting there in like a trance. There's something habitual about the demonic thing that you need to find. All of this is important. You got to find the weaknesses to attack it just in the same way as it finds yours. This is a war. You're going into war. There's no guarantee that you're going to win the battle. You're human. So one, you always need to protect yourself. Call your guides instantly. Like I call my guides now. Please guard and protect me as I give this message out. Because they're angry that I'm speaking. They're angry that I'm putting this out. Because the more smarter we become, the more the elite rise, the more spiritual fight these things back. Like look at time. Like look at Salem witch trials and just in history in general. Back in the 60s and 70s, there were so many house hauntings because there was no way to really record it. They could get away with all this shit and nobody would talk about it, and there was like a hush-hush thing. But minds are becoming more free. People are seeing it in movies and they're talking about it, and if something happens, they're putting it on YouTube, and they're getting exposed in the spiritual world like people are getting exposed and cancel cultured. That's why cancel cultured negativity is getting cancel cultured by technology, by people becoming more free. So they get angry when we communicate with each other, when we teach each other the tools to fight this war. And baby dolls, let me tell you, the war has not even begun, and it's going to be scary. It's going to get so dark 30 that I don't even know what to expect. This is why we're getting amped up. This is why information is being passed. This is why our minds are being free, because we have a fight coming. Excuse me, this is God tapping you on your shoulder. Yes, you are one of my generals. I need you to wake up now. Wake up now. I need my army. That's what he's doing, waking us up. So anything I can help you educate with that, I'm going to do it. But the focus has to, I can't really teach you how to be a detective in that way. It really comes from one, using your gifts, investigating, working with other people, seeing it in action, and just trust your instincts. If something inside is telling you, like, there's something wrong here, there is something wrong here. Call your guides, call your protection, because they can't hide from the light. And you're walking in the light, you're working with the light. God's going to show you, He's going to tell you, He's going to protect you. Alright, what else do we need to know? Victory and invention. Yes, you find your own artistic way to use your gifts. Like, I've worked with several mediums. Everybody kind of has their thing. I have mediums that just like to walk and shout at these entities, and that gives them the feeling. I sometimes do too. Like, if I feel them get too close, I'll be like, back up. Just out of nowhere, I'll be on an investigation. I'll back up. And everybody knows, because there's other mediums in the room, you're feeling spiritually attacked. When you feel the need to do that, that's, you trust those instincts, and they're immediate, like, you good? You need to go outside? Like, what's going on? Because you're in an investigation. They want to know what's going on. I feel like somebody's, like, walking up on me, or just creeping up on the back of my neck, and then you get the machinery out and you test it. You know what I mean? So it's like you communicate, you use those tingles. You gotta fight together. I don't feel like, yes, they send me in alone a lot, but it's only because they haven't seen. I'm not, like, I wish. I don't say these things to toot my own horn. Like, I wish I was just a normal medium that could be like the Long Island medium, you know what I mean? But they've never seen anyone come back from some things that I'm not going to discuss. But just say that if I can't do it, no one can on this earth. I still don't know what that means. But these people have lots of experience. I don't really like going in alone. I would prefer, like, almost like a suicide squad, or like a SWAT team. That would be my dream, to just build a whole spiritual team and just investigate, because I don't feel like it's healthy for anyone to take on some of the things I probably wouldn't have had to. The denial here, we are still human, we are fragile. These things can kill us, they can take your life, and they do it slowly. It's a game. They like to play with their food, and we forget that although we're spiritually strong, we are not invincible. I really feel like you have to call on your own gifts with this invention. You find the way to attack it, and you find the way to find the clues. Like, I don't investigate the same way as other mediums investigate. I'm very quiet. I'll walk through the house. I don't really like to know too much about what's going on. I do like to know a gender, at least, because that helps me. If somebody's trying to trick me, that would help me. Like, I do just like to know male or female to concentrate on. That's usually what I ask for, so I know. I connect with like, spirits really here, and then I get caught up on imprinting in time, like consecutive things that might have happened in the house, but they're like habitual hauntings. It's just an imprint. It's not a ghost there. So I'll pick up on that. I'll get their story, and then, okay, well, there's no real spirit there, so that'll trip me up for a minute. So I need to go back. Here's the feminine energy. Like, it's like my north. It helps me. But you got to figure out what your north is what they're saying. Like, some people want to know the information. Some people want to know as many facts as you can. Some people don't want to investigate. They just want to sit home and tune in with spirit, like me. I feel like creative ways was the best way to channel, like making your own cards, drawing, writing. This is how you tune in. see how this card, I hope you can see it, it's covering their eye. It's like we always deny our gifts because there's a fear of it. We don't, just because we learn a lot and just because we deal with it, there's still so much I don't understand that scares me because I'm a Virgo. I need to understand. Not knowing something is scary to me, especially on a spiritual level. It's like I spent a lot of years running from my psychic abilities because I was too scared to go there. I didn't want to deal with ghosts. I had to be ready. Yeah, the truth, the light will show you the truth. No dark can stand to the light. So if you, like, I've been on some cases where I really thought, like, the ghost or the haunting was, like, some sweet old lady or some man, and we're, like, literally getting ready to wrap up, and then all of a sudden, like, the little old lady would just scowl at me or say something and yell. It's like they can't hold it. God is going to push and 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 push. They want them to snap because they want their chosen to see. Wait. Let me show you, chosen one. You have more work to do. Or, chosen one. Here's the problem. They will always show you. Walk in the light, pray, ask God. God, this is a tricky one. I'm getting tripped up. It's messing with me, God. I need you to show me. Make them snap. Make the one who's being possessed snap. Make me see it, God. God won't let you down. The shadow can't hide from that light, though. The shadow can't hide from the light. I can't make it up. Hold up that cross. Start preaching that Bible to them. Start saying things like, in the blood of Christ, I wash your body from head to toe in the blood of Christ. They don't like that at all if they're demonic. They don't want the blood of Christ anywhere near them if they're demonic. So that's the home run I go to. I wash you and cleanse you in God's light and with Jesus' blood, his only begotten Son. Gives new, like, the dark loves to look scared. It's like a bully, okay? It's like those people that just get loud and rowdy, like, you want to fight? They'll get the whole room looking at you and they intimidate you into silence. And they look like the hero. They look like the tough guy when really that person just bucked up their chest. They don't know how to fight. If the person did fight them, they wouldn't know what the fuck to do. That's what the evil thing is doing. I'm going to appear as scary. I'm going to throw things against the wall. I'm going to give you growls. I'm going to scratch you. I'm going to put food all over your house. I'm going to scare the living shit out of you so that you no longer believe that you are stronger than me. Well, I beg to motherfucking differ, bro. Sis, you can trash this place. You can slam every door. You can flicker every damn light in this place. You can howl in my ear. But I will never be weaker than you. Because I have one thing you do not. My Heavenly Father God. And He stands in front of me like this. And if you want to get to me, you're going to have to get through Him. So I'll be over here chilling, smooth sailing with my mojito while you get your ass kicked, bro. That's the attitude know and trust your gifts. Know that Spirit will back you up, that they will protect you, that they're going to guide you. You don't need to fear your gifts. They cannot hurt you. They can only make you believe that you can. They hurt me when I was a child because I was scared. I was intimidated. They held me down. I believed that I was a weak, sad little child. I could move the whole time. And God was trying to tell me, and that's why they brought the good spirits, the angels, the spirits that were around, ancestors. Lizzie, this is what you say. Like, I didn't understand as a little girl that they were a ghost. I didn't know, like, who they were at all until I saw pictures and realized that, oh, that's my grandma's mom who died long before I was ever born. Like, she came and said, this is what you say, Lizzie. I was a little ass kid. I was like 3. I didn't know what to do. I don't know how to pray. They protect you. But I believed. I gave them my power even as a teenager. They were scary. They're scary as fuck. Their whole job is to scare you and intimidate you and look demonic and be everything vicious. It's parlor tricks. They can only look. They have to gain all that momentum up. And they gain that from your fear, from your anger. Be passive, motherfucker. Passive as shit. Peaceful as fuck. No matter what this thing does. Ah, kumbaya. Ah. They're going to lose so much juice, they're not even going to be able to growl in your ear. That's how you have victory. Nothing they do can affect you, and it's the hardest thing to master. I still struggle with this. Investigations. I try not to show the jump, but I still do that sometimes. I still get freaked out, especially with the really scary stuff. I do that a lot when I'm scared. I'm like, get me out of here, I don't like it. I'll still do that. We're human, okay? And you need to know when to pull your energy back. You can't, oh my God. A bug just flew in my face. You can't just go from haunting to haunting to haunting to haunting to psychic reading to psychic reading to tarot reading to tarot reading. You gotta rest, rejuvenate, rewind, take a few days here, take a few days there, take a spiritual bath, zen out, be peaceful. You can't grind. Not in the spiritual world. You can't grind. It's only a detriment to you, your energy, and how you do your job. You celebrate your wins, you celebrate your success, and you thank God. First and foremost, thank you, God, for getting me through that. Thank you, God, for showing me my gifts. Thank you, God, for giving me these gifts. Thank you, God, for this team. Thank you, God, for this house. Thank you, God, for this money, or whatever. Like, make sure you're always celebrating, like, your victory. Take that moment of, wow, we beat that demon, because this is going to help you when you're on those cases, like, that are really challenging. And it takes you to that low point, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if we can do it. But it also brings you together. The celebration of, we did this together. We did this as a team. This is like, when a family really goes through a haunting, like a bad one, the whole purpose is divide. Divide, divide, divide. So when investigators get there, they're also part psychologists, because they need to help this family understand, this is why you reacted this way. This is why you were angry. This is why your relationship and your family was falling apart. Now I'm going to show you how to take your power back, and then you teach them to do it together. And them doing it together brings them back to the light, saves the family. So you got to understand that part. It's very much psychology. These demons attack the mind. These people are broken by the time they call out to you. Give them that unconditional love, even when they scream, and they're like, appreciate the fact that these people are exhausted. They're not getting sleep. They're being spiritually attacked. Something is making them angry and bitter, and these people are going to lash out to you. They're going to say horrific things, but it's not them. It's the dark. The dark wants you to run out the door hurt. The dark wants you to get mad and say, fuck this. The dark wants you to think that you can't do anything, that you're not gifted enough, because they win that family, they terrorize and tarnish that family, and then they keep a latch to you because that's the one that you could never solve and you're always going to eat. It's having that discipline of knowing when to step back and say, it's over my head and that's okay, but to leave it there. Don't allow that tether. Have that discipline of, okay, I did an investigation. I'm not going to do an investigation this weekend. I need to rest and rejuvenate and cleanse and clear. Like, don't overburden yourself, because that makes you vulnerable to attacks. It makes your team vulnerable for attacks. I don't know why I feel like I'm counseling paranormal investigators today, but hey, As I said, we got dark shit coming and you're about to get even more busy. Unfortunately. Like I said, I wish I was the kumbaya kind of medium, but I'm not. I'm gonna have to kick some ass. And it's gonna be scary. But I'm thankful for my gift. I would rather be the one kicking ass, doing something about it, than sitting on the sidelines. That would just annoy the shitballs right out of me. Put me in, coach! Put me in, coach! I was the captain for a reason. I could not stand being on the bench. Alright, anything else we need to know collectively? Trust, challenge. Yes, trust your own process. Trust that everything you need will be given to you. Trust they're going to guide you through your journey. And trust in your own time. And don't compare yourself to other timelines. And know that Spirit's always going to challenge you. They're always going to test you, because this is how you grow more accustomed to your gifts. I still can't see. I was going to try. But yes, the dark is also going to challenge you to be ready for it. You are the master of the chess game with Spirit on your side. Lean on your guides to get you through the game, the investigation. Set those clear and strong boundaries before you even enter a premise, before you even start with anything. Always do your spiritual work, prep, spiritual baths. Always know you don't have to fear the dark. The only thing you have to fear is God's wrath. However, with that in mind, you are also still human. Let's not pretend we're 18 years old and that we can drive off a cliff and be fine. You know what I mean? Like, there's consequences, so be careful. Know your limits. Spirit will always, when you call to them for help, they're always going to answer. But it literally takes you calling. Telling Spirit, protect me. Set that boundary with the dark. And Spirit, you can't touch me. God is going to come and help me. And so God will. You are one of His chosen. You are doing His work. Call upon Him and you shall receive in your greatest hour of need. Yes, it's all about family. Protecting families from these things that attack it. Bringing life into the world. I feel like a lot of pregnant issues might be coming up in the... Oh, I hope not. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let God release that one. Yes, but everybody is God's child and He treasures you. But it's your choice how you use your power, light or dark. He will release you if you walk in the dark. It's not a threat, it's just fact. But this is Him saying, like, I birthed you, gave you these gifts. Now be free and use them as you wish, and I will support you. Yes, fall on your wisdom that they give you, those downloads. They're always going to give you the information you need. They're always going to help elevate you. As long as you're walking in the light, working with them. Yeah. Make sure you're not just investigating. Make sure you're not just fighting a war. Make sure, like, you know, we're not out here like the olden days when, you know, we fought a village and then when we were done fighting it, we burnt it to the ground. No, we're not doing it this time. Now we're going to the village, we're kicking out all the dark, and then we're helping the village rebuild, add more street lights, plant some flowers, and make it a little more fucking cheery around here. Make sure you're leaving an imprint of light where there was dark so that the dark can't grow back, if that makes sense. I hope this was helpful. I see some kids kind of wanting to play, so I'm going to get off and give them the field. So I'll see you back at the studio. I think I'm going to head home, get some pizza, and yeah, toodaloo boo boo, boy.